Happy Tuesday morning and welcome to our 1-hour yoga practice. Today's practice is going to focus on another one of the chakras. We did this a couple weeks ago where we started with the root chakra at the base of the spine and then moving up to the sacral chakra and then the solar plexus chakra. So we've done the 3 chakras that are associated with the physical. The next one in line is going up the spine to the heart chakra. This is considered the link between the physical chakras and the mental chakras that are to come. So we will get to all of them. But today's chakra is the heart chakra, located at the location of the heart. Its color is green and its element is air. So it's all about being open, being trusting, being able to forgive. Those are all associated with a balanced heart chakra. So if you feel any difficulty in any of those characteristics, this might be the yoga practice for you. We are going to start with a hand gesture. Oh, before we start with our hand gesture, let me tell you about the props that you need for today's practice. You will need a block just for a single pose. You could also use a cushion. It's for supported fish pose. And if you don't have anything, you'll tuck it behind your shoulder blades when we're lying down. If you don't have anything, you could even roll up the end of your yoga mat and use that. So I'm going to use a block later. I'm going to have that down on the ground ready for me. Also, we're going to use a strap today, or a yoga strap or a belt, anything that is non-stretchy. So a fabric strap, a leather belt, anything that is non-stretchy. And we'll use that for some opening poses as well. And we'll use that standing up, so keep it close by, standing up. Also, we will be on our hands and knees, so if you need a cushion for your knees, go ahead and grab a knee pad, a gardening pad, a hand towel, or again, you could fold over the edge of your yoga mat and use that for extra cushioning on those knee joints. Do what's comfortable for your knees. Don't be in pain just because we went down to our hands and knees. All right, now let's get started with that hand gesture. That hand gesture is anahata for the heart. Take your right hand, and I'm not going to mirror image you. I'm using my right hand as well, and make the OK sound. So you're connecting your thumb and your index finger, and each finger represents an element, and the index finger is air, just like our heart chakra's element is air. And so bring that OK sign to your heart, because your heart is okay. And our yoga practice is going to be more than okay today. Release that, shake out your hands. Before we do our spinal warm-up, we're actually going to do a breathing warm-up as well. So relax your shoulders down. I'm not backing up yet, so you can see me close up. And we'll take a few breath cycles, a few yoga breaths, in and out through the nose. Lips are gently closed, shoulders relaxed, ribcage is lifted. Just take a few breath cycles. Feel the ribcage expand. Let's take one more. And now I'm going to ask you to do that and just place your hands on your ribcage. So make the letter L with both hands and place that L on the sides of your ribcage. Relax your shoulders down. And now when you do that same breath, I want you to see how far out you can push your hands with your ribcage. One more. And release. So I thought I was breathing pretty deeply there, and I knew it was coming, and yet I still felt that when I placed my hands on my ribcage, that I could see that my ribcage was expanding to a larger diameter just because of the sense of touch, tactile, and I could feel that I could make my ribcage expand even more. So even though we're not going to have our hands on our ribcage for today's practice, for the rest of today's practice, I want you to remember that sensation of how large of a diameter you could make when you really focused on that deep breathing. Now let's warm up the spine. I'm backing up so you can see me head to toe. I've got my new schnauzer leggings on today. Standing mountain pose, making the number 11 with your feet, 2 parallel sticks. Line everything up over your heels, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your ears, and then tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Palms facing forward. Let's start with elongation. Inhale, lift up, lift the heart, open that body, and then float the arms down. Go at your own pace now. Inhale, expand the rib cage. Think about that sensation of your hands touching the sides of the rib cage. If you want, go a little deeper by bending the knees and start to warm up the hips and the low body as well. Lift that heart. Use that air in your body to open and expand. Let's do one more elongation. And release. Let's go into standing cat and cow. Start by bending your knees, bending your hips. Tuck your tail between your legs. Draw your arms in front as if you're hugging a giant beach ball. And then reverse that curve. Open the heart, pinch the shoulder blades together. Inhale and continue at your own pace. Exhale and inhale. As you exhale, think about hugging someone for that heart emotion. And then when you inhale, think about opening that body, opening the heart, being open, being trusting. Let's do one more pattern of standing cat and cow. And then return to mountain pose. Going into lateral flexion, set your feet just a tiny bit wider. Your 11 is just a little bit wider, still parallel sticks. Place your right hand on your right thigh, left hand up to the air, up to the sky, and then start to fold your spine in the lateral dimension, making space in the side body. Think about elongating through the armpit. Breathe. One more. And release. We're going to go into a static lateral flexion. You can just keep your feet as they are and go into that lateral flexion to hold it. Or if you want a deeper lateral flexion, take your left foot, bring it behind the right. Not very far, it's just crossed behind. And that way when we flex again, you're going to feel it down into the hip as well. Use your right hand for support, left hand up, static lateral flexion. Stretching down the left side body, keep that right shoulder relaxed. One more breath cycle. Release, bring your feet back to parallel. And we'll go into our dynamic lateral flexion first. Left hand on the thigh, right hand to the sky, and start your lateral flexion with motion, dynamic. Go at your own pace. Lifting that rib cage away from the hip. One more. And pause. And now we'll go into our static lateral flexion. So again, you can keep your feet as they are and just lift the arm up and go into your flexion and remain static or stationary. Or you can take this right foot behind the left, find your balance, and once again come into your static lateral flexion. Keep that left shoulder relaxed. One more breath cycle. Lift up and release back to your number 11. We're going to go into our rotation now, our last two poses, rotation right and left. And today let's make cactus arms. So we have a nice opening through the shoulder girdle, through that heart. Maintain pressure in both feet as you twist to the right. Come back to center and twist to the left. Use your breath. Exhale as you twist away from center. Inhale back to center. Go at your own pace. Keep those shoulder blades drawn back. Let's do one more each side. Last one. And release. Roll those shoulders back. And we're going to grab our prop, our belt or our strap, and go into some opening poses for the upper body. If you're using a yoga strap, those are generally 6 feet, and you don't need that length, so you can fold it in half if you are using a yoga strap. Holding the ends of your prop, and make the prop slack, like it's making the letter U or a smile, and then bring it in front of your thighs. Relax the shoulders down. Set your mountain feet, making the number 11. We're going to come up to shoulder height and add tension. And that's going to activate those shoulder muscles as well as expand the chest. Inhale, shoulder height, add tension, and then relax. Second time, inhale, add tension, and relax. One more time. Inhale, add tension, and relax. Now we're going to do it again and increase the range of motion if that's accessible to you. If not, go to the same shoulder height. You could come up a little higher in front of your head, or you can come up all the way above your head. You pick. Inhale, your range of motion, add tension, and then relax all the way down. Second time, inhale, add tension, and relax. One more time. Inhale, tension on the strap, and release. Now we're going to go into a tilting motion. So bring that strap up to your range of motion. It could be just at your head, it could be at your shoulders, or it could be above your head. And we're going to tilt the shoulder girdle from one side to the other. Go at your own pace. So if you do not have the strap above your head, it could be your tilting motion is in front of your body, like you're driving a car with a giant steering wheel. Listen to your body for the range of motion. Let's do one more each side. And release all the way back down in front of the thighs. Now we're going to take a shorter distance between our hands, maybe 6 to 8 inches. And now the strap is not tight, you're not adding tension, but it's not making a little smile anymore. It's kind of straight across. And we're trying to create a single unit between both shoulder blades, both arms, and both hands. So the strap is creating that single unit. And so now start to take your hands and circle them forward. And now feel what's happening in your shoulder blades. Keep the elbows straight. Don't lock them out, but keep them straight. And just feel those shoulder blades making that 360-degree circle. Pause the motion, and now take your hands in towards your body with your circles. Feel again that sensation of the shoulder blades rolling down your body. Let's do one more circle. And release. We're going to use this again in just a moment. So keep it close by. I'm just going to set it behind me here. And we are going to go into reverse prayer. So let's go into reverse prayer slowly, and we'll see how far we can take it. And then we'll do cow face after that for another stretch. So I'm going to show you by turning around, and I'm just going to bring my hands behind the body and let the fingertips touch. I'm going to turn it back around so you can see me here from the front. You might stay here. This might be enough of an opening for your shoulders and upper body. Or if you can, take it the next step by drawing your fingertips to the opposite wrist. I'll show you once again from the back view. I'm going to progress to the next step. We've got 2 more steps. Remember, at any time, if this is your range of motion to stop, then you just stay where you are. If you want to take it the next step, crawl to the elbows. Again, from the back view. And that, again, might be enough for you. Feeling that nice stretch through the front of the body by letting your fingertips touch the opposite elbow. If you want to take it the last progression, this is the hardest one to get into and requires a lot of shoulder mobility, and that is bringing the hands to prayer position behind your body. If you cannot get there, don't worry. Just come to whatever you can do. You're still making progress wherever you are, opening the front body. Take one more breath cycle. And release, shake out the wrists. And we're going to go into our second set of poses that use the strap. Starting with cow face and then proceeding into a sequence of warriors that use the strap for humble warrior. So let's start by holding the strap in the right hand. And you can keep it doubled over like this, or you can unfurl it. But hold on to the buckle end of your strap or belt so it doesn't tap you in the back. Lift it up over your head and then bend the elbow so your prop is hanging behind your spine. Take your left hand and find any part of that strap to grab. It could be low at your hips, a little bit higher at your waistband, maybe higher at the shoulder blades. Maybe you don't need the strap and you can connect your fingertips directly. Whatever range of motion is right for you. And now add a little tension on that strap by pulling down with your left hand. Keep your left shoulder relaxed, and you'll feel the stretch through the right armpit and the right triceps, the back of the upper arm. If you want, you can add lateral flexion here. Breathe. Deepening that stretch down the right side body, another opening for the front body, opening the heart. One more breath cycle. Come back to vertical if you were laterally flexed. Pass that strap off into your left hand. Again, holding the buckle end so it doesn't tap you on the back. Lift it up to the sky. Bend the elbow. Make sure that strap is behind your spine. It did not go in front of the armpit. It's behind your body entirely. And now take your right hand. Find any part of that strap to grab. Low, middle, or high. Or maybe you can connect fingertips directly. And then add tension on your prop. Keep that right shoulder relaxed. Feeling that stretch through the left armpit, the left triceps. And if you want to go deeper, add that lateral flexion. Keep the right shoulder relaxed. Keep the pressure firmly in both feet. Even if you're adding lateral flexion, don't become light on one side. Bear the weight evenly. One more breath cycle. And lift up, release, and then take the strap and just wear it like a scarf around your neck. We're going to use it for Humble Warrior, and that's going to add another opening for the front body. And I'm going to show you the difference in using the strap and not using the strap. So I'm turning sideways. You don't need to turn yet. Just watch me for a second. Our feet are going to be in warrior pose. I'm just stepping back into a small warrior here. We'll be folded. And if we don't have a strap, if we just have our hands behind our body, holding our own hands, we can get a certain range of motion here. But if we take the strap between our hands, so we separate the hands maybe 8 to 10 inches, and we do that same motion, we can very easily get more range of motion. So you might be able to get more range of motion without it, but this makes it easier. So let's make it accessible by using the prop today for that Humble Warrior pose. So wear it like a scarf, because we're going to go into regular Warrior 1 and Crescent first, and then we'll go into Humble Warrior and use our strap. So we'll already have it attached to our body, ready to go. So come to the skinny end of your mat. It could be that you're walking towards your device to come to your skinny end, but I'm going to turn sideways to you so that you can see the side view of the pose. If you're set up the same way as I am, I'm calling out your right and your left, and I'm your mirror image. So set your number 11 feet. Make sure you've got room to step backwards with your left foot. Bring your hands to heart center. Roll those shoulder blades into your back pocket and bear the weight firmly in that right foot as you let your left heel become light, and then step it back. It could be a small step or a medium step or a deep step. And then drop the heel down so you turn that left foot. It's parallel to the skinny end of your mat. Maintain the bend in the right knee and keep the left leg straight. And now let's focus on alignment here. Let's focus on 3 aspects of the alignment of Warrior 1. First of all, right shoulder. We throw it back so we square the chest off over that right knee, and you feel that twisting sensation through your center body. And I'm not even lifting my arms yet because we're focusing on our alignment. Second part of our alignment. Make sure that this front knee does not flop forward. So in this case, we've got the right knee forward, so don't let that right knee flop inwards. You got to use those thigh muscles to engage and keep that knee over the second toe. Don't grab the mat with your toes. Keep the toes relaxed. And the third part of our alignment is activate both inner thighs as if they were pressing on a giant beach ball between your legs. But don't grab the mat with your toes. Activate here. Keep the feet relaxed. All right, let's now put all 3 of those parts together to set up Warrior 1, and then we'll lift the arms. Right shoulder back. right knee over the second toe. Squeeze the beach ball with your inner thighs. Lift those arms up. Draw the shoulder blades into your back pockets. And we are in our Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Beautiful, beautiful alignment, my friends. Keep that pressure on that beach ball, and we're going to go into crescent. So let's change the arms into goalpost or cactus arms. Lift the rib cage, keep that front knee bent, and then exhale, reach forward with straight arms. Do that again. Open cactus arms, open the heart, and then lean forward, stretching forward, straight arms. One more time. Crescent Warrior 1, and lean forward. And now stand up straight and place your scarf in one of your hands. Doesn't matter which one. Bring both hands behind your body. And now the strap is between your hands, 8 to 10 inches, just across the back of your bottom. Look over that right knee and start to fold your body. Maybe you fold it just a tiny bit. Maybe you come to parallel to the floor. Maybe you come a little lower towards your thigh. Whatever's right for you, bow your head and look at that left foot behind you. And now pick your hands up away from your body, holding on to that strap, feeling that openness through the front body. Breathe. One more breath cycle. Bring the hands back down to the body. Lift that chest up using your core strength. And then go ahead and take that strap back around. And we're going to go into side angle and triangle here. So keep your body facing towards your device and bring this right elbow down to the right thigh. Extend your left arm up to the sky. If you want, bring that arm over the ear for a deeper stretch. And think about spiraling your chest open, drawing that left shoulder blade down your back. Breathe. We're going to transition from side angle into triangle. So take that left arm straight up. Straighten your right knee. Allow that right arm to just slide onto the inner thigh. Baby triangle. You can stay here. Or slide that hand down below the knee. Coming against the calf. Or maybe the ankle or the foot. Squeeze that beach ball between your inner thighs. Find your balance. Keep that left shoulder blade drawing down your back. Breathe. One more breath cycle. Bend your right knee. Sweep that left arm forward. Step your left foot forward. And prance it out. Good work, my friends. We're going to do that same sequence on the other side. I'm going to turn to the other end of my mat, so again, you can see the side view of the pose. You still have your scarf on, so that we can do this Warrior One pose on the second side. After we do it on the second side, you can allow it to drop to the floor. We won't need it for the side angle and triangle. So come to the top of your mat. Make the number 11 with your feet. Stack everything over your heels as you bring your hands to heart center. Roll those shoulder blades into your back pockets. Bear the weight on your left foot, let your right heel become light, and step it back. Small step, or medium, or deep. Drop the heel down so your heels are on a balance beam, and your toes are pointing off to the side. Same thing, let's focus on those 3 alignment cues. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up to the shoulders this time. So we'll end up with a perfect alignment when we're ready to lift our arms. So wiggle those toes and then squeeze your inner thighs on that beach ball. Feel that pressure on the inner thighs and the activation of those thigh muscles. And now take a note. Look at your left knee. If you want, you can scoot it a little bit forward. If you want that deeper stance, make sure the knee is going over the second toe. Activate those thigh muscles to keep it pointing off to the left. And now take your left shoulder. Throw it back so you feel that rotation through the center body. Arms come forward and then straight up overhead. Ribcage lifting up. Beautiful Warrior One poses. Wiggle your toes, squeeze your beach ball, align the knee, and keep that left shoulder back. Breathe, and we'll transition to crescent. Bring those arms to cactus arms, lift the rib cage, baby back bend, and then exhale, extend the arms forward. Second time, crescent with cactus arms, extend forward. Third time, open that heart, be trusting, and extend the arms forward, and then release your arms to grab your scarf, bringing that scarf or prop behind you. You could use a scarf, by the way. Bring your hands behind you and then grab that prop with both hands straight across your bottom. Maintain your alignment, keep that left shoulder back, and we'll start to fold the body. Remember, you could stop here, or you could come to a flat back, or you could go below your flat back, dipping towards the thigh. Bow your head, look at the right foot behind you. And now add that opening for the upper body. Lift your hands up off of your bottom, away from your body. Feel that opening through the shoulder girdle. Open the heart. Maybe add a little tension on the strap. Feel that openness. Bow the head, relax the jaw. One more breath cycle. Return the arms back down. You can go ahead and allow your prop to rest on the ground and lift your body all the way up using that core strength. Turning your chest towards your device or towards the long end of your mat. We're going to go into side angle and triangle second side. So take your left arm, rest it on your thigh, and take that right arm to the sky, either straight up or over your ear. Side angle pose. Breathe. Spiral that chest open. Allow that right shoulder blade to draw down your back. One more breath cycle and we'll transition to triangle. Bring that arm straight up. And now straighten your left knee, allowing that left arm to just slide onto the inner thigh. Baby triangle, you can stay here. Or slide that left hand below the knee, to the calf, to the ankle, to the foot. Whatever works for you. Triangle pose. Squeeze your beach ball. Don't grab the mat with your toes. One more breath cycle. And now bend that front knee. Lift it all the way up. Relax your arms. And walk your feet together. Press it out. All right, we're going to continue with our standing sequence here. And another sequence. This one's shorter. We're going to go into elongation again, one of our warm-up poses, and then into a half forward fold. So we'll be landing the hands on the thighs or the shins. Make your number 11, tennis ball distance between your big toes. Shoulder blades down your body as you lift your hands up, elongate. Exhale, fold from the hips, bring your hands to your thighs. Make the letter L, draw your elbows down. Maybe slide the hands to the shins. Your gaze is slightly forward, not straight down. Keep your knees soft, engaging those abdominal muscles to fold the body and stretching the hips. Breathe. And now we're going to take the hands off the shins or thighs, fly the arms one time, return to the legs, and elongate all the way up. We're going to do that one more time. Exhale, fold the body, make the letter L, hands on the thighs or the shins. Push your bottoms away from you, keep the knees soft, engage the abdominal muscles, fly the arms one time, open, return to the legs, and rise up all the way and release your arms. Good work, my friends. Roll those shoulders back. All right, going to continue with some strength here, going into chair pose. Utkatasana, working on the lower body and the hips. Remember to tuck your tail between your legs when you come into chair pose so you protect the low back. Start to bend the knees, bend the hips, tuck your tail between your legs, reach your arms forward, and then as if you're holding a large box, draw your shoulder blades together behind your body. Hold that large box between your hands, keeping that openness, even though your arms are reaching forward. Rise up and release. We're going to do chair squat one more time, and this time adding a rotation to both sides. So start to bend your knees and bend your hips. Tuck your tail between your legs, drawing that navel in. Send your arms forward. Separate your hands, pinching your shoulder blades together, holding your large box. And now take your right hand down to your right thigh. Open your left hand to the left. Relax your right shoulder. Breathe. Come back to holding your large box. And twist to the opposite side. Left hand to the left thigh. Open your right hand to the right. Relax your left shoulder. Come back to holding your large box. Rise up and release. Pull those shoulders back. All right, we've got 2 more standing poses here. The next one is standing camel, Ustrasana. So let's go into that back bend pose. We want to do this standing up to protect our knees, but this pose is also done kneeling, but we're going to do it standing up today. Let's start with the hand gesture, making gentle fists. Don't clench your fists. Just gently close your thumbs over your fingers. Place your knuckles at your pelvis or the tops of your hips and roll your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Lift your ribcage up, relax the shoulders down. We'll take 1 breath cycle in our camel pose. Come into your baby back bend, 1 breath cycle. And return to vertical. Release your hands, give them a shake. Second time, we're going to change the hand position so that the thumbs are at the top of the pelvis and 4 fingers wrap around the sides of your hips. Back view, I'll show this one. Same thing. Relax the shoulders, lift the rib cage. Come into your baby back bend. Take 1 breath cycle. And lift up, relax, shake it out. 1 more time. This one gives you the most support. So if you can, challenge yourself to go a little bit deeper into your baby back bend. 4 fingers point down at the top of the hips. Thumbs wrap around the hips. Back view. And now let those shoulders relax down. Lift the ribcage up. Come into your back bend. 1 breath cycle. And release. Shake it out. Feel that openness across the body. Trust in your body. And trust in your balance, because that's what's next. We're going into dancer pose. If you need a support, if you need to stand close to a wall so your fingertips can touch the wall, by all means, go ahead. Or maybe you want to stand next to a table or a chair. You can do that. But I'm going to challenge you that if you're doing that, I'm going to ask you to float the hand away from your support and then put it back down. So you challenge yourself for just a moment where you're not hanging on. Or join me without hanging on to anything, going into dancer pose with our right leg being our support. Hands to heart center, shoulder blades into your back pockets. Let your left heel become light and float that foot off the mat, bringing the knees together. You can stay here. If you already need support, go ahead and let your fingertips touch your support. I won't challenge you yet. I'll wait until we're in the full expression, and then I'm going to challenge you to take your hands off your support. If you're not using your support, let your right hand rest at your torso, and now take your left hand, connect it to your left foot, and bring the knees back together. Next progression of our dancer pose, pulling that foot closer. You'll feel a little stretch across the top of the left thigh, the quadriceps. We're going to progress. If your right hand is not touching the wall, go ahead and extend it up to the sky. Breathe. Balancing stick pose. Final progression is to start to push the left foot into the left hand, kicking back, and automatically send your right hand forward as if we're touching through the screen. If your right hand is on the wall or a chair or table, float it off your prop for just 1 second and then retouch. 1 more breath cycle. Release the pose. Ooh, release that right leg. Calf muscles tensed up there while we were supporting on one leg. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. If you need to turn around so that you can allow the other hand to touch the wall, by all means, you've seen it once, you know what it looks like. You can turn around, or maybe you've got a table or a chair on the other side that you can use the opposite hand. Energize the feet. Come into your mountain pose, hands to heart center, shoulder blades down your back. Bear the weight on your left foot. Let your right heel become light. Float it off the mat and bring the knees together. If you need to, go ahead and place that left hand on a support, or place the left hand at your torso and take your right hand back and grab that right foot with your right hand and then bring the knees back together. Already feeling that little stretch on the top of the thigh, the quadriceps. If your left hand is supported by a wall or a table, leave it there or take it up to the sky, balancing stick. Breathe. And finally, taking that last progression into dancer, Nadarajasana. Start to kick the right foot into the hand. The knee moves backwards, the left hand moves forward. Look at something that does not move. Breathe. If your left hand is on your support, float it away for just a second and then return it to your support. Challenge yourself. One more breath cycle. Lift up out of the pose and release. Whew. So those calf muscles were tensed up while we were in that pose. Let's give them a quick stretch, and then we're going to take it down to hands and knees. But before we do, let's go ahead and give the calves a quick stretch and the hamstrings. Send your foot forward, your right foot forward, heel is on the earth. Bring your hands behind your body and just sink your hips back and down, stretching the back of the leg. Soften the knee, lift up, and we'll switch. Send that left foot forward, heel is touching the earth, knee is straight, sink your hips back and down, chin is level. And lift up, soften the knee and release. So we're stretching the back of the thigh and the back of the lower leg, the calf. We're going to take it down to hands and knees, so if you want to bring your device down to the floor, go ahead, and then come into a quadruped or table pose on your mat. If you need a knee pad here, go ahead and place a knee pad under your knees, or you can also double up your mat either from the skinny end or from the side. Make big stars with your hands as you place your hands on the mat. I'm going to move this block out of the way. We don't need that to the very end. Separate your knees, so your knees are under your hips, your wrists are under your shoulders. Make big stars. Set your neutral spine, and then exhale, round your back, cat pose. Inhale, reverse the curve, cow stretch, open the heart. Go at your own pace now between cat and cow. Use your breath to carry your body between those two poses, those two curves of the spine, extension and flexion. If you want, bend the elbows in between the poses and come a little more deeply into your range of motion. Do one more pattern of cat and cow. And then return to neutral spine. We're going to go into a little balanced pose. Our table is going to have 3 legs instead of 4. So bear the weight on your right knee. Float your left knee up. Flex your left foot and bring that knee up towards hip height. If you cannot get it all the way up to hip height, maybe it's a little bit lower, that's okay. Listen to your body. Push through those shoulders, lifting up. And we're going to tuck the knee under the body 3 times. Tuck and extend, tuck and extend, tuck, and hold it here. We're going to go into a balanced pose. So our 3-legged table is going to go down to a 2-legged table. Push into the earth, float your right hand off the earth, and place it at your low back. You can stay here, or you can go into tiger pose, pulling your tiger tail with your right hand, connecting. Lift up through the shoulder, breathe. One more breath cycle. Release and take a quick child's pose. Roll out that left wrist especially. And we'll do that sequence on the other side. Pull yourselves forward, spread your hands wide. Lift up through the shoulders, and let's take our four-legged table into a three-legged table. Float your right knee, flex the foot, lift that knee up, trying to get it up to the height of the hip. Lift up through the shoulders, and let's tuck the knee under the body 3 times. Tuck and lift, tuck and lift. One more time, tuck and lift. Taking our three-legged table into a two-legged table, float your left hand off the earth, place it at your low back. Keep lifting up through that right shoulder, and if you can, grab your tiger tail, getting that stretch through the quadricep, opening the heart. One more breath cycle, and release. Sink back, breathe. I'm going to go into another opening here, an opening pose called Thread the Needle. So come back into quadruped. We're going to do an opening pose and then a threading pose. So bear the weight on your left hand, pick up your right and float that palm to face up. And we're going to turn it away from our left arm and lift it up to the sky. And now thread it behind the arm, lowering the head. You don't have to touch because we're going to do it twice more. Lift all the way up. And now thread. Last time, lift up. And thread. This time, go ahead and lower your shoulder all the way down. Breathe. Options for that left hand, you can keep it where it is, or you can place it at your low back. Or you can lift it up to the sky. Or you can take it to the top left corner of your mat, or even the top right corner of your mat. That'll be the most opening that you get for the side body there, the latissimus dorsi. Breathe. One more breath cycle. Return your left hand to that position. Push back into your table pose. And we're going to do that same sequence on the opposite side. I'm going to turn around just so you can see. You don't have to turn around. I'm just going to make this so that you can see the side view of the pose. Go ahead and pick up your left hand. Palm points up to the sky. Lift it up to the sky and then thread it behind the right arm. We'll do it twice more. Lift up and open the chest. And thread. One more time. Open. And thread. This time bring the head and the shoulder all the way down. And same thing, option for the right hand. You can keep it where it is or send it to your low back. Or up to the sky. Or the top right corner of your mat or the top left corner of your mat. Adding that stretch for the latissimus dorsi. Breathe. One more breath cycle. And return that right hand to the original position so you can push back into your table pose. And now we're going to go into puppy pose, a little stretch. Also called melting heart. So walk your hands forward. Lower the chest, keep your hips pushed up, and melt the heart. Bring your ears between your arms, melt the heart, keep your hips pushing up. You can lengthen the arms a little bit more if you want to. Breathe. One more breath cycle. And lift all the way back up. We're going to go into child's pose. So sink your hips back. And we're going to go into a kneeling salutation here with our child's pose. So bow your head. This will require some strength, but also include some stretches, including puppy pose that we just did. We're going to do it 3 times, and we'll add something each time. So let's start with the basic version. Hands to your thighs. Use your core strength. Lift your hips. Lift your heart. Lift your hands straight up. Open, inhale. Exhale, fold, bring your hands back down to the mat. Crawl forward for puppy pose, melt the heart. Inhale, lift the chest up and shoot the chest forward. Set your hands directly underneath your shoulders, kneeling plank pose. And now a strength pose, Chaturanga Dandasana, a baby version because we're on our knees. Bend the elbows backwards, lift back up, and sink back into child's pose. Take a breath cycle here. And we're going to add to our salutation here, we're going to add down dog in the second version. Bring your hands to your thighs. Inhale, lift your hips, lift your heart, lift your hands, stretch it up. Exhale, fold, core strength, land your hands, walk them forward, melt the heart, puppy pose, hips up, heart melts. Inhale, lift the chest and shift it forward. Stack your hands beneath your shoulders, kneeling plank pose, chaturanga, bend the elbows backwards, breathe, lift up, curl your toes, exhale, hips up to the sky, lift through the armpits, ears close to the arms, breathe, and then lower the knees back down, child's pose. We're going to do that one more time, and we're going to add a three-legged dog on both legs. Hands to your thighs. Inhale, lift your hips, lift your heart, lift your hands. Exhale, fold. Hands find the mat. Crawl forward, melt the heart. Inhale, lift the chest, shoot it forward. Bring your hands beneath your shoulders, kneeling plank. Bend the elbows backwards, chaturanga. Inhale, lift, curl the toes. Exhale the hips up, down dog. Lift through the armpits. Bear the weight on your right foot. Lift your left leg up, three-legged dog. Return that left foot down and lift the right foot, three-legged dog. Bring that foot down, both knees to the mat, and child's pose. Breathe. Feel the openness through your upper body. Trust. Be open. Expand. One more breath cycle. And lift your body up. We're going to go into another kneeling sequence here. A gate pose and wild thing. So I'm going to turn to face you. Continue to use your knee pad to support your knees, or you can double up your mat. So from this seated kneeling pose, we're going to come to an upright kneeling pose, lifting your bottoms up off of your legs. Going into gate pose, extend your right leg off to the right. Your toes are pointing forward. Your arms extend out to a T. Shoulders relaxed. And we're going into lateral flexion here, another opening for the side body. Think about opening that left side body, opening the heart. Inhale, tilt the right hand down, lift left arm up. Exhale, back to your T. Second time, inhale, gate pose, Parigasana. And return to your T. One more time, inhale. Exhale, back to your T. This time, bring that left hand all the way down to touch the earth. Right hand up to the sky. Low version of side plank. We're going to transition this into wild thing. Keep lifting up through that left shoulder. Don't collapse. And now take your gaze up to the ceiling and then let that right hand just fall open behind you. Baby version of wild thing. Breathe. One more breath cycle. And now bring that right hand down, support it on your thigh, to lift back up, and we're going to change legs. So bring that right knee back down to the mat, set up your upright kneeling position, and then take your left leg out to the left. Toes are pointing forward towards your device, arms are out to a T, and we'll go into that lateral flexion 3 times. Gate pose, Parigasana. Inhale, open. Exhale, T. Second time, inhale, open. Exhale, T. One more time, inhale, open. Exhale, T. And we take it into our wild thing prep. Taking that right hand all the way down, low version of side plank, Vashisthasana. And now look up at the fingers in the sky, push up through that right shoulder, and let the left hand fall backwards. Open the heart, wild thing. Breathe, one more breath cycle. Bring that left hand down to the thigh, all the way down, setting on your feet again. And we're going to transition into a quick lunge sequence before we lie on our backs to finish up. All right, so you can continue to use your pad, facing the skinny end of your mat. Draw your right foot forward. Place both hands on that right thigh. Feel that stretch, that opening through the left hip flexor. Keep your right hand on your right thigh and lift your left arm up to the sky. Relax that right shoulder, going into lateral flexion 3 times. Over the head and back up. Second time, over the head and up. Last time, over the head and up. And now we're going to twist our lunge. So take that left hand, bring it onto your right thigh. I'm going to twist away from you. Turn your body towards the right. Lift that right arm up. If you want to go deeper, take that left hand all the way to the earth. Breathe. And if you want to progress, curl the left toes and lift the left knee. One more breath cycle. Hands down, knees down, and we'll switch it up. Take that left foot forward. Place both hands on the left thigh, lift the chest, shoulders relaxed. Feel that stretch in the right hip flexor. Keep your left hand on the left thigh as you extend your right arm to the sky, and we'll laterally flex. Bring the arm over the ear and back up. Stretch it over. Feel that stretch in the psoas area. One more time. Hip flexor stretch and back up. Take that right arm down, bring it to your left thigh. Twist towards your left. Bring that arm up, dipping the shoulder down into your twisted lunge. To go deeper, take that right hand all the way to the earth. And one more progression if you want. Curl those right toes, lift the knee, breathe. Feel the energy, feel the openness. Open that heart, open the chest. One more breath cycle. And release the hands and knees down to the earth. We're going to transition to lying on our back so you can get rid of your knee pad. Swing your feet to the skinny end of your mat. Bring your cushion or block so that we can do supported fish pose after we do our bridge sequence. So keep that prop handy. And you could use any little cushion. You could even use a small pillow or even a rolled up towel. Or as I mentioned, you could even roll up your mat. You just want some little bit of height under your shoulder blades when we do our supported fish. But let's start with bridge pose. Lie on our backs. Imagine that there's something between your knees, about a small balloon size, and press on that imaginary balloon. Arms are placed next to your torso. Press the upper arms into the earth. Tilt your pelvis, almost lift, but not quite, and relax. Second time, tilt the pelvis, almost lift, not quite, and relax. Last time, tilt, feel the energy, and release. And now we're actually going to lift 3 times. Engage those upper arms, press the upper arms into the earth, lift your body, feel the energy, feel the openness, and release it back down. Second time, inhale, lift, open the heart, exhale, lower. One more time, lift, open, hold it for 1 breath cycle, and release. Hug your knees, add a little sway. And now we're going to do that supported bridge pose. So grab your prop, whether it's a yoga block, a cushion, a pillow, or roll up the end of your mat. Prop yourselves on your elbows and tuck your prop against your shoulder blades so you can come down onto that prop. Shoulder blades on. Let the crown of your head, or the back of your head, touch the bottom of the mat. Make sure your chin is pointed up and your head is supported. Let your palms rest, opening through the shoulders, and then straighten out your legs when you set up the upper body. Close your eyes. Supported fish pose. Feel the openness in the front body, stretching through the chest. One more breath cycle. And we're going to come out of our supported fish pose. So plant your feet flat so you have stability through the low body. You can prop yourselves on your elbows to lift off your prop, or you can roll to the side and just move that prop out of the way. Come back and hug your knees. Add a little sway. We're going to finish with some windshield wipers and open belly twist. Open belly twist, obviously another open body pose. That's what we're about today, openness and trust. Plant your feet flat, knees are bent, hands can rest on your belly, or they can be cactus arms, and then start to windshield wiper your knees side to side. Getting a little twist through the spine and pelvic area. Also a little stretch in the outer thigh and hip area. Next time your knees are towards the left, go ahead and keep them there. Stack your knees and feet. Open belly twist. Keep both shoulders connected to the mat. If you want to add a hip stretch here, or deeper hip stretch, keep that top knee bent, the right knee, and slide it up towards your chest. That'll stretch the hip a little more. You can even reach down with your left hand and grab the calf or the foot. Breathe, close your eyes. One more breath cycle. And go ahead and stack the knees again if you had added the option. Inhale the knees back to center and lower them to the opposite side. Again, your arms can be in cactus arms or T, whatever works for you. If you want that deeper stretch, slide that bent knee up towards your chest. And you can reach down with the right hand and grab the calf or the foot, adding a little extra resistance, enhancing your stretch. One more breath cycle. Restack the knees if you took the option. Inhale the knees back to center. And we're going to come into relaxation. So lengthen those legs. Bring the arms alongside your body. Palms open to the sky. Press the upper arms into the earth. And then relax every muscle. Take a few moments here to survey your body. Survey especially the openness that we tried to create today. Opening through the heart, opening that front body, the side body. Energizing poses, stretching poses, mobility poses. Breathe. Let everything relax. Let your jaw relax, your tongue, your cheekbones, your eyes, everything soft. Recall that the chakras are represented by a spinning wheel of energy. So picture that green energy at your heart location. If you want, place your hands at your heart location. Survey the warmth in your body, the circulatory system. Feel the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe, your respiratory system. Take one more breath cycle. And we're going to return to a seated pose. Making your way there gently, either with rolling to your side and pushing into the earth, or with a gentle and small sit-up to come into your seated pose. Today's quote is about the heart. It's an anonymous quote, and it's written, "No beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart." So have a good heart, my friends, and think of that beauty that you are just going to glow and shine with. And everyone is going to see it. Bring your hands outside your hips. Inhale to the sky. Let your thumbs touch your mind, your spirit breath in your body. The spirit in me honors the spirit in all of you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for our Heart Chakra inspired practice today. And I hope to see you again soon. Keep breathing.